In our news bulletin for this evening, health officials conduct the first in-school check specifically for ears. Regional police training ends with the presentation of certificates. Niue's weightlifting team's efforts at the Oceania weightlifting competition is successful with 1 bronze medal. Ear specialists are working with the health department this week to identify the extent of hearing ailments or impediments and detect how these can be treated. Yesterday, they started their first program within the schools at Niue Primary School. Although annual health checks are carried out for a wide range of tests, there are no trained specialists locally who can do the hearing test. An arrangement between the Manukau Health District Board and Niue Hospital means that specialists can come to assist on a needs basis. This time round, there is a 4-strong team with 2 specialists based at the hospital. An audiology intern and a PhD candidate from Auckland University have also been brought on board to work within the school and detect what some of the common diseases or concerns may be.
We know that ear disease is a concern in the Pacific, so we would really like to screen all the primary school children to really try and capture any concerns or any issues at an early age, so something can be done about it sooner rather than later. We do slightly different testing to what they would do for the annual school check. So we would look inside the ear, but we will also test the health of the ear and the eardrum, as well as testing their hearing as well, so how well the child can hear sounds. So that's how it differs a little bit, but eventually we hope that we can train some people up in Niue and they'll be able to conduct some of the hearing tests by themselves as well.
Ear checks started yesterday and will continue until the end of the week. They have started with Niue Primary School, but there is a possibility that a team will return in the next few months to do checkups for Niue High School. This visit also provides an opportunity to train local staff for just over 6 weeks in order to detect and examine students and patients with ear infections. And problems are one of the most common dilemmas faced in the Pacific, especially with young children.
We've been quite pleasantly surprised so far with our testing. The kids do seem to be very healthy, and as a consequence their ears seem to also be quite healthy. But in terms of childhood ear disease, we know that there are issues regarding things like smoking, a lack of breastfeeding, being around other children maybe who have sniffly noses or have colds. So all those sort of environmental things can lead to children having ear problems at a young age. But we've been pleasantly surprised that so far the kids seem pretty strong and
very healthy.
And healthy. We haven't seen a lot of ear disease as we would see in other parts of the Pacific. A little bit of wax, which is often quite normal, which can be treated easily.
If we find any issues, we are going to be referring the kids on to the ear specialist who is at the hospital at the moment, who's come over from New Zealand, and if he can't treat the issues over here, then they can be sent over to New Zealand.
The team will be travelling back to New Zealand by the end of this week. The Partnership for Pacific program wrapped up its 2-week course in Niue yesterday afternoon with the presentation of the Level 2 investigation and prosecuting certificates at Scenic Matawai Resort. It has been an intense 2 weeks for the 20 participants under the tutelage of Acting Inspector Robin Best of the New Zealand Police, with the emphasis of enhancing certain aspects of their policing skills to suit the working environment of their island states.
We don't teach the law. They are expected to know the law, their own laws, before they come. So when we do the practicals, it's very much based on what they know. So, for example, in a practical scenario, if they're to arrest someone, they must prove that the ingredients or the offences are there in their own countries before they arrest. And the same applies to their caution. They must apply their own caution rather than a New Zealand one, so that they are still utilising their country's laws, policies and practice. The things that we teach can be applied anywhere in the world. Simple things like examining a scene you can utilise anywhere in the world. So because we don't teach the law, it's the practical aspect that we've taught. We'd like to come back to Niue, I think all the participants would. But everyone's worked really hard. They've applied their skills both inside the classroom and they've done homework and had to work outside the classroom. But having it in Niue has just been a bit of a bonus because we've loved the beautiful country.
One of the course participants, Genevieve Manutulila of American Samoa, elaborates more on the 2 weeks that she spent in Niue.
I have learned a lot. I am going to apply whatever I have learned here during the training to my jurisdiction. I was telling our trainers that a lot of our acronyms that we have learned here, it's more likely the same acronyms that we use at our jurisdiction, but it's just that in different terms. I have learned here, I haven't done at our jurisdiction, but I'm glad that I learned it over here at training. So by the time I get to explore more at our jurisdiction in the job, you know, I can apply those methods to where I work at.
This course was tailor-made for the Pacific region. Everyone who attended well versed with the laws of their own island nations. All she does as a head tutor was to formulate a program that can assist with how to engage or enforce these laws.
This is the 3P program, is Pacific Partnership in Policing. So I do know and have had discussions in terms of where do we go from here. We are looking at a recruitment course, which will be also organised by the same program, the 3P program. So that's the next level, because yes, we have completed the level 2 as of this year. So as we review the program, we're hoping that we're able to move to the next level, and that will be a recruiting course for the Pacific. And we're hoping that it'll be done in Wellington. Policing is the same, but everyone has different jurisdictions, different processes of how you can get into the police force. But I'm more saying that wherever you go in the world, policing will always be the same. The advantage for Niue has been so small, and because we're so small, we're able to send our officers out to these types of trainings. This is sort of the last phase of this Pacific Skill Course Level 2, and all my officers have been to all the last previous Pacific Skill Courses, and Antiope Mokolei is our last officer to go through the course. Christian Funaki was doing a trainer course, which is a certificate level 4, and he's come out of that very good as well. So he's passed he's certified to be a trainer in terms of training police officers. So it's a good outcome for Niue.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs in New Zealand funded this initiative to improve economic infrastructure and enhancing local employment possibilities through infrastructure and broad-based economic growth. All the participants really enjoyed their 2 weeks in Niue, and this partnership for the Pacific program implemented throughout the Pacific region has the potential to be successful in strengthening law enforcement officers with the right tools to carry out their duties successfully, and with the fundamental principles of mutual respect and responsibilities. Niue's small team to the 2016 Oceania Senior, Junior and Youth Weightlifting Championships in Suva, Fiji, have managed to end the competition on a high note with a bronze to show for their efforts. About 200 lifters from 19 different countries competed over a course of 5 days from the 24th to the 28th of May, with the hopes of ranking high enough to qualify for the Olympics in Rio de Janeiro this year. Felicity Navarre competed in the women's 69 kilogram category, managing an overall total of 75 kilograms, placing her in 5th place. Moses Motama was in the 105 plus kilogram category, placing 3rd in the youth category with a combined lift of 237 kilograms. Team manager Alan Tano says that he is extremely proud of the lifters and their efforts.
I feel good. Their effort, especially Tina, the new one. Moses, they've been there. It's a good battle with New Zealand. New Zealand knows that we're going to take the silver. And we only need 1 kg to take the silver. But he opted to take 140. He got 140. I'm confident he can lift 140 because he already lifted 140 here. But at the end of the day, it's 2 red, which means no lift. But they're good. And Tina, the new lifter, she came 5th, and she's good. Hope that they will continue on. I'm happy because 2 countries, big countries, didn't have a medal going home, Tonga and Guam, but we did have one. Back to training now in Nomea in December. The big one is Gold Coast next year to qualify for the Commonwealth Games the next following year. So we're back to training already, and come back to training again.
Next year's championship will be combined with the Commonwealth Weightlifting Championship that will be held in the Gold Coast in September next year. This will also be a qualifying test for the 2018 Commonwealth Games. And that concludes our news bulletin for this evening. We do hope that you can join us again for our next news bulletin on Thursday. We'd like to also put forward our condolences to the families of Puleiki, Tasmania, and also Kapuna Hasini for their loss.